content. In a city like LA, this word is thrown around more than a ham on Christmas morning. It's pitched as the solution to all your problems, the gift that keeps on giving, and your only way to the top. But is this still the case, or is a massive bubble about to burst in the music industry?
The conversation of TikTok came up a lot, right? So I'm like, TikTok who? Like, but they're like, we really got to make sure these 14-year-olds know who you are. And I'm like, but they've all got mums. They've all got mums, and they've definitely been growing up listening to my music, these 14-year-olds and stuff like that. But it was like, if everyone's making music for the TikTok, who's making the music for my generation?
Everything you see on the internet regarding social media growth tells you to post consistently. Post multiple times a week, post at the same time every week, post during the same time of the actual day, all in the name of the algorithm. This is what the algorithm likes. It likes consistency and things being churned out in a motion that it can catch. But I would argue that this lulls your audience to sleep. In my experience, one high quality post has so much more of a positive effect than a sea of bullshit, especially when it comes to reaching the audience that is waiting for you, reaching for the people that are looking for what you're selling. It's easier now to just throw shit at the wall and post a bunch of stuff and get those likes coming in so you can feel like, you're really doing the thing. But in reality, this just waters down the quality of your project overall in people's eyes. If what you're posting is so frequent and not catching them, they're going to forget about you. And that's the unfortunate fact of the world that we live in now. And I think this pressure for consistent posting, it leads a lot of artists to making the biggest mistake that I see right now, and that is giving too much. One of the biggest trends in music is to post your demos and your snippets on TikTok and Instagram. And then you determine what songs you finish and put out based on how those posts performed. What this means is that one of the biggest decisions that you make as an artist is not being made by you. And as a smaller artist, it's hard not to cave to this pressure. It seems almost impossible in today's market to reach new people. So when you post a song and it gets a little bit of traction, you're gonna put that song out, which means that you might be sidelining some type of bigger project and rollout that you had been planning for a while in the name of catching this quick little moment. But my argument is this, and it's quite simple. What gets people to your show is a body of work, not some TikTok trend that your music was behind. That's what I think so many people are missing now, is these one-off tracks that maybe get a little bit of motion on Spotify, this and that. They don't get people into you. They get people into that song, and then they move on with their lives. But a project, an album, even an EP, something that feels like a thing, that's what gets people hooked and waiting for whatever you do next. And while you're working on this greater project, it might mean that you're not posting the same type of videos that you see from everybody else. And although this is scary, it generally means that you're headed in the right direction. Because as it stands, the majority of your competition is posting things to target the algorithm, to be algorithmically friendly. And what this means really is being familiar, giving people what they want, giving people what they've seen before so they can comfortably scroll through about their day. I'm sure you've seen them. All the, this is how I made my new single, or the video where they're walking and performing and the little caption pops up, "Have you ever been heartbroken? I wrote this song for you." This type of stuff, we all know it. We've all seen it. If you follow music on these platforms, this is what is out there. This is what you're competing against. And I think right now is the time to do something different. Most artists find long-term success when they give the audience something that they didn't know that they wanted. And what this generally requires is a lot of time spent as an outsider with things not really clicking. Until they do.
To all my fans out there, keep going. I know it's very generic, but haters are a real thing. I had 50 views for fucking 15 years, and now I make a living from this shit because I just didn't stop. Don't stop at all.
So what can we do? How can you be original and also gain an audience? How can you do this and that? I think the solution is, like always, more simple than people would like it to sound. A great first start is making a plan. Don't just throw shit at the wall to see what sticks, or even worse, copy what you saw somebody else do to find success. Build a proper marketing strategy and follow it. And then at the end of that time, see what you did wrong and reevaluate. But I think it's so easy to jump ship after the first video doesn't do well. Or it's so easy to jump ship if your single didn't get as many plays as you wanted, because instead of posting the same TikToks everybody else does, you did some brick and mortar marketing. I think it's easy to abandon that stuff when immediately there's not success. But you have to trust that only you know truly how best to present your work out to the world. Find some other unique avenues to keep your audience engaged while you're working on that main project. People want you to have range. And the nice thing about delivering on that range is that it allows you to fill the gaps in between the major plot points of your artist trajectory. So if you're working on an album right now, there are things that you can do to build your audience and engage that don't involve showing them what you're working on music-wise. And I think that is what so many of the greats, they tap into that. That's why you see all these clothing brand crossovers and YouTube series and vlogs, personality stuff. It allows you to keep the reason that you're doing this so sacred. It allows you to work on the music behind the scenes while all of this is happening. And then when the time is right and the music is ready, you hit them hard and you don't let up. I'll see you in the next one.